So we're going to have a brief review of what we have gone through last week. So chapter 7 is about the theory of production and costs. Okay, firm are to maximize profits. Okay, this textbook was written in around 2004, and now we are 2021. And many of you, if you have get involved in stock markets, you will see something like this, ESG. Okay? And this textbook says that the firms are to maximize profit. Okay, basically this is the objective. Okay, maximize profits. But at this point, there are some people kind of dispute this idea because a firm, okay, is there to help the economy, to help, not just the economy, but also the whole environment. So there's a term called ESG. Okay, so Xie Xinyo, what is ESG? No idea. Okay. So Zhen Yiling, what is ESG? No idea. Zheng Hongqi, no idea. Huang Caiping, ESG, what is ESG? In the past, I seldom discuss this because I assume that is right. Because basically, whatever in terms of microeconomics we have been doing is, maximize profit, right? We do it this time, right? We say if a firm maximizes profit, it also means that a firm is minimizing cost, right? Maximizing profit is the same thing as minimize cost. But now, okay, because there are just too many social issues. For example, we have global warming, right? Climate change. This year we have climate change summit, okay? Everyone is talking about it because, the ice in North Pole, right? The North Sea, the North Pole, is melting. And because of that, we're getting very cold today, right? So one of the reasons. And during summer, what happened? Very hot. And also many typhoons, right? And the typhoons used to be mild, but now it's very, very big. And even just a few days ago in Philippines, it's not December, right? But in Philippines, there's typhoon. It's very strange. It is all because of the global warming, climate changes, all these kind of issue, okay? Su Weilun, what is ESG? Okay, so what is E? E. Environment. S. Social. Governance. Basically there are some things like this, okay? But the point is, okay, so some companies, financial firms, financial institutions, if they're going to invest, they don't want you to invest in tobacco. What is tobacco? Zhang Guochao, what is tobacco? Right, the same thing, tobacco. And some companies make weapons, right? Do you like that? Of course not. So a lot of financial institutions, they have some funds, right? Or ETF, okay? They have this kind of, specifically to invest in environmental friendly companies. So for example, these companies, these financial institutions, probably they will not invest in steel company, right? or coal, right? What's coal? Do you like coal? It burns and it gets a lot of what? CO2, carbon dioxide. Okay? So a lot of companies, I mean financial institutions, when they invest, they specifically choose those companies that working to improve the environment. So what is most popular is we call green tech. What's green tech? For example, wind power, right? Wind power, solar power. So if this company is making solar panels, that's good, right? And if they are related to any kind of issue that is to improve the environment, people like it, okay? But you got to understand one thing. If a company does not have profit, it cannot do much, okay? If you don't have profit, you cannot do much, because anything that you want to do, it has to get funding. You have to have money, right? So there are some also very intriguing issue, or you can say complicated. Okay, so everyone knows now. Okay, everyone knows now. Oil is expensive, right? Gasoline is also very expensive. Okay, so supposedly if gasoline is expensive, oil expensive, there are a big company called ExxonMobil. Okay, ExxonMobil. And another company called BP. Okay? So, hold on, 林玉祥, what is BP? No idea. 洪凯轩, what is BP? ExxonMobil, 林玉祥, ExxonMobil. What is ExxonMobil? No idea. 陈子帅 ExxonMobil, BP, 林玉雅 ExxonMobil, no idea. 黄庆瑜 BP, 沈若款 ExxonMobil, BP, 邱冠敏 Really? No idea about this? 黄建勋 two companies. 曾义涵 高嘉业 No one knows? 蔡宏基 黄彩萍 supposedly, when gasoline is expensive, oil expensive, these two are big oil company. Sometimes we just call big oil. They are big oil companies. So, if oil is expensive, gasoline is expensive, oil is underground, right? When it is expensive, what should you do? You should pump it out, right? But what happened is that because there are just too many people, in my opinion, they are crazy, okay? They don't like climate change, okay? They don't like global warming, that's fine, okay? And you don't want to burn coal, that's fine too, because for so many energy sources, coal is the worst kind, because it burns all black cloud, right? And so a lot of carbon dioxide, but it's not so for oil or natural gas, okay? Natural gas. Okay, for these three energy sources, which one is the cleanest? Which one is the most clean? Show me. Which one is clean? Oil. Really? In terms of carbon dioxide, Zheng Yihan, which one is cleaner? Cleanest? Wang Qingyu, which one?
Gas.
Yes, natural gas. And then this one is the worst, right? So if you don't use coal, I can understand that. And you know, it's very expensive to ship coal because coal is big and heavy. But if you want to ship oil and natural gas, it's easy. You use pipeline, okay? It's very easy. And because so many people are obsessed with the environment, you know, whatever issues, but it's wrong, you know. The reason now we know that oil is expensive, gasoline is expensive, so supposedly this is a signal to the companies, okay? Oil is expensive, so if you pump oil out, you can make more money, right? But why not? Okay, why don't these companies pump more oil out? Because they have not invested as much as they should have to explore more oil, to explore more natural gas. Why? Because those environmentalists, they don't like oil, they don't like natural gas. Of course, they hate coal. But the point is, okay, the question to you, Mr. Zhuang, do we need energy?
Yes.
We do need energy, right? If you don't have oil, what can you do now? Can the wind power help us now? Can the solar power help us now? No. Probably 99% of the energy for Taiwan comes from what? Oil, right? So these people, in my opinion, are stupid, okay? You want to be environmental friendly, that's fine, okay? But look at the fact. Do we have enough green energy to help us, to help the everyday needs? The answer is no. So what? So supposedly, the energy price should not have been this expensive, because when the signal tells us when the market price is so high, what happened is that the companies ExxonMobil, British Petroleum, BP is British Petroleum, so it's, petroleum is another term for oil, okay? So supposedly they should pump more oil out, but because so many environmentalists, they are pro-ESG, okay? They are pro-ESG, they are pro-environment, okay? They are pro-social development, all these things. So they don't invest in these companies. And because these environmentalists, sometimes they are very aggressive and they sue these companies for what they have done to the environment. But the point is, if you have energy needs, then you need to burn oil. You need to burn natural gas. Okay, so what's wrong with that? I mean, if we don't have natural gas, we don't have oil or even some coal, where to get a line, right? Okay, so last week we did not spend too much time on this. Okay, basically we assume companies are to maximize profit, but these premises, okay, this objective is now being challenged by a lot of people, especially those environmentalists. If you look at what they call climate summit, okay, the meeting for the world leaders and to talk about how to deal with the environment, global warming, climate change, all these things, they forget one thing. If you don't have money, can you do that? No, okay? So for example, let us say steel companies in Taiwan, they produce a lot of pollution, right? The most polluted area in Kaohsiung is Xiaodang, okay? Because there is steel company, right? And there's also a shipbuilder, okay, a shipbuilding company. So they produce a lot of carbon dioxide and other pollutants. But can you tell me, if you build these kind of buildings, do you need steel? Yes, you do, right? And if you want to have a good car, right? You want to have a good car, good motorcycle, do you need steel? Yes, you do. Okay? So you protest against them, in my opinion, that's stupid. What you need to do is invest in these companies, okay? So that these companies to explore some new approaches to make steel cleaner. Okay, use less energy to produce it more efficiently. The same thing for cars, right? So you not only produce gasoline cars, you also produce hybrid cars that use gasoline and electricity, or all electric cars. Okay, so I mean, a lot of times people just, in my opinion, they have the wrong focus. Okay, for a company, the purpose is still to make money. Just the same thing. But I hesitate to say this because a lot of professors, they criticize the idea. So for example, okay, our school is a university. So a university, supposedly you should focus on education, okay? But you've got to understand one thing. Because resources are always limited, okay? You have so much money, but only just a little part of money. When you want to devote to, say, environment issue, or let us say building, okay, or other kind of manufacturing issue. So, just like our school, right? Our school focus on technology, okay, finances, okay, and other area. But in our school, do we have history department? History, okay? No, right? And the reason is because, okay, so let us say our department is money and banking, right? So we have so many students studying money and banking. Why? It is because money and banking is an important sector of the economy, right? We have stock markets, insurance markets, so we need a lot of people to deal with finance, insurance, investment, all these things. How many do we need for history? No idea, right? But do we need them? Yes, we do. So the thing is that we should focus some resources, okay, on something that is very demanding in our society. Okay, so for example, technology, right? Semiconductors, machineries, AI, right? All these things. And because these sectors can produce good jobs and good income, good tax revenue, and then we can use that revenue to help people to devote a little bit on history. So really, but a lot of people criticize this kind of idea because education should not be market-oriented, okay? So history can teach us good lessons. So you need some people to study history. But the point is, if you have so many people studying history, do they have job prospects? The point is no. So for example, my undergrad. So Wang Jingmin, what's undergrad? Undergraduate. Undergrad. No, that's graduate. So undergraduate is what you are now. No. That's PhD. Yes. Okay. So that's the reason, we have education. I mean, if you come to our school to study for something without a good job prospect, what would you do? You will be very disappointed because when you graduate, you don't have jobs, right? And so we have, each class maybe 50 students, and we have 2 classes, right? So 100 because that's what the society needs. Okay, so basically that's the same thing. But for example, I'm a professor, right? So I discuss this issue with some other professor. I say, any firm should focus on making money. And they say, no, you are wrong. In my opinion, they are wrong, right? For example, a lot of companies like Fubang and Guotai, okay, and Zhongxin, the same thing. They all have charities. So what's charities? Charities. they have some charity organization. For example, they have money to help the poor, okay, to help people living in remote areas, okay. How do they have that kind of money? Because they make money on their insurance policies, make money on their investment, right? Because of that. If they don't have any profits, can they have resources to do that, to help the poor? The answer is no, right? So sometimes I have to still argue with some people, I mean professors, okay? They despise me, they don't like me. But that's, in my opinion, nonsense. Because if a firm makes no money, they don't have any resources to do for the environment, right? Okay, for corporate governance, all these issues. So anyway, even so, you need to know that even for just such a little text, a little idea, maximize profit, it has been challenged. By my opinion, those people are just nonsense. If ExxonMobil and BP have not been sued by the environmentalists, and they continue to put money into, exploring oil, natural gas, at this point we should have very cheap energy, okay, rather than expensive one. And so, anyway, so we spent a little time talking about this. Because as some other occasions, maximize profits has been challenging, but I believe this is still correct. Okay. Of course, sometimes companies may try to get something else. For example, market share. They want to get market share. That is for sure. Because I have a bigger market, then I can use more efficient approaches to produce goods. And then, of course, they want to make money. So, whether it's market share, whatever other issues, in my opinion, maximize profit is the best part to characterize what a firm's objective, or what a firm is after. Okay, and then short run, long run, we talked about it before. Okay, so a company choose a combination of inputs and to produce, okay, to get the output and sell it, okay? Okay, maximize profit. We have done this, so we're gonna move on. Okay, short run, long run. In the short run, you have some fixed costs, okay? In the long run, everything is variable. And so here are some examples in the book, so please read them on your own. But I would like to see if you know what's going on here. What is cooking the books? Cooking the books. Cooking the books. What is cooking the books? Hong Kai-shen, what's cooking the books? Li Yunxiang, cooking the books. No idea. Zhu Guanmi, cooking the books. Chen Zishuan, cooking the books. Li Yunxiang, cooking the book. Huang Jing, cooking the book.
做假账.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay. So, but this is wrong, okay? This is wrong. Cooking the books is wrong. A firm, wants to maximize profit. That's what we say the objective. That's their goal. But in economics, we don't encourage people to cook the books to make profit. That's wrong, okay? What you do, because whatever a firm do, it has to be marginal revenue equals marginal cost. And if you cook a book, means what? It means your marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost, okay? And with illegal approach, that's wrong, okay? So the textbook tell you the example is that some companies, they do whatever they can to maximize profit, but you don't use the wrong approach. You want to use the correct one, okay? Okay, let's go on. Okay, capital goods, machinery, equipment, okay, production function, we mentioned that before. Okay, probably in the test we would have something like this. Okay, give you a table and ask you to calculate marginal product, average product, and of course when we next hour move to cost function, we're gonna have you deal with total cost, average cost, marginal cost, all these things, okay? It's not complicated. You just follow the rule, okay? What is MP? What is AP? MP is each additional unit of factory production, in this case labor, each unit of labor, bring you each additional production. Okay, so what's that? You calculate that. And AP is total product divided by the number of input value used, okay? And we know that diminishing marginal returns, okay, if you still remember, we use the example of rocket, okay, rocket. Okay, so we have isoquant, okay, the same thing, similar to indifference curve. And for indifference curve, when we talk about consumer behavior, we have marginal rate of substitution, right? And now we are talking about producers, so we have marginal rate of technical substitution. It's called MRTS. Okay, so the idea, the tools that we have to analyze the behavior of producers is very much the same as that of consumers. Okay, so the same thing, when we talk about consumer behavior, we have perfect substitutes and perfect complements. That is the same thing for producers. Okay, this is where we left off last time. Returns of scale. We have constant returns to scale, increasing returns to scale, and decreasing returns to scale. And now we want to explain what are all these ideas and what they are about. There's one thing you need to remember. When we talk about increasing returns to scale, there is a rule about it, okay? So let us see what's going on here. First of all, for all the inputs that you use, it has to be the same proportion, okay? So we have production function, we have LK is equal to Q, okay? And what is return to scale? So we have FTL, TK, and then what does that mean? So you have to double, if you double labor, you have to double capital too, okay? They are in the same proportion. If it is 2, it has to be 2. If it is 3, 3, 4, 4, whatever, okay? And now we have to compare with TQ, okay? TQ. So if it is greater, it is called increasing returns to scale. If it is equal, it is called constant. If it is less than, okay, it is called decreasing. Generally, for other people, other professors, when they talk about this idea, they just introduce this to you and it's done. But really, you want to think about it, okay? Because how this world is running really depends on all these ideas. Some kind of it makes sense, some don't, okay? So let us use 2 as an example, right? So let us say you double, okay? You double labor, double capital, okay? And if you double labor, double capital, and you can get return more than 2 times, right? What does that mean? You put 2 times the resources So the cost double, right? The cost double. But your output more than double. Okay? So in this case, what should you do?